All right, how you doing, Aussies? Bellfire back here with you for another one. I think there's things about cricket that are a lot more difficult than baseball, and I think there's a lot of things about baseball that are a lot more difficult than cricket. If I can get into cricket, you guys can get into baseball.
Telling me's dreaming.
I've always said one of the most dynamic positions in pro sports are goaltending in ice hockey and pitching in baseball. But I got a few friends down under that have encouraged me to check out some of the intricacies of bowling. And I know the difference now. There's spin bowlers and there's fast bowlers. For now, we're going to stick with fast bowlers. So let's check it out. Glad you're here. Let's go. Slower ball, like a fork ball. The knuckleball, definitely familiar. I mean, I know what a knuckleball is going to do because it's going to do the same thing in baseball. Off cutter, leg cutter. I know that just from playing the video game. And I started playing cricket on my PS4 just to get a better idea of how the game works.
The conventional swing and seam game, where the bowler uses the new ball's pristine condition to manipulate the air.
Dave in Brisbane sent me Brisbane Bandits, regulation baseball. He also sent me a Kookaburra. So unlike some people that like to react to Australian stuff, I'm actually working with it.
The outswinger is the classic Temptress. The bowler holds the ball with the seam angled towards the slips and the shiny side facing the batter.
Here. In baseball, I mean, you can get a lot of movement. You scuff one of these things up just a little bit. As soon as they hit the dirt, either the batter's going, I want a new ball. How's that work in cricket? Tell me in the comments.
The in-swinger is the opposite. The ball curves in the air towards the batter.
Oh, that's tricky.
It's the delivery that leads to more LBWs than a dodgy umpire.
Lima Bravo Whiskey. What is LBW? Work with me. Comments. Let me know, please. The seams. Okay, I know they might be different. Cricket ball seems to be a tad heavier. Not a lot, but a little bit heavier. They're almost exactly the same size. Like curveballs and sinkers. Okay, this is cool. Let's keep going. That bounce off the ground is really impressive.
The straight seam delivery is the foundation of all seam bowling. The bowler holds the ball with the seam perfectly upright.
You're basically talking just your standard fastball in baseball.
With the seam vertical. Like this relies entirely on the pitch surface to cause a deviation, with the fingers positioned on either side of the seam.
Yeah. That ball is going straight and fucking fast, and if there's a deviation in the ground, you might get some variation from side to side. Okay.
The cross seam delivery is the first step into chaos.
Cross. I want to know what this one's going to do. This looks cool.
Can cause it to rear up with extra bounce. If it lands on the leather, it can skid low. It's the delivery that says, I have no idea what this pitch is doing, so neither should you.
If he's throwing it like this, or she, if it's being thrown like this with your fingers perpendicular to the seams, you're still going to get a rotation, so you're still going to get speed, you're still going to get velocity. But after coming off the ground, the result is going to be, chaos. Let's see.
The wobble seam delivery is the ultimate agent of chaos. The bowler deliberately releases the ball with a slightly misaligned seam, causing it to wobble end over end.
That's really cool. I'll tell you, one of the things about cricket that's really fun to watch, especially when you get replays in slow motion, because of the single seam in baseball, because you can still see the seams moving, but you really get a very distinct visual picture of what the ball is actually doing in cricket. So you can really see any kind of deviation or wobble. It stands out so much. You'd never be able to see that coming because it's so fast.
Rather than spin cleanly. The grip is similar to the straight seam, but the release involves a slight twist or a less than perfect rollover of the fingers. The reverse outswing is when the old ball swings away from the right-handed batter. This is the most mysterious, the most controversial, and the most devastating form of swing, where one side is rough and the other is shiny.
My God, there is so much nuance to bowling in this game. I gotta watch a lot more cricket. I've heard baseball fans say, "Oh, cricket's fucking boring." It's, you know what I mean? They don't even have gloves. Well, you don't really need them because the ball's not coming quite as fast. An infielder in baseball, you need that glove because the ball's coming off that bat really fast sometimes, faster than the pitch. But cricket is so much more intricate in its relationship between bowler and batter. I'm not saying it's harder because I don't think it is, but I don't think baseball's harder either. I think they're equally difficult for different reasons.
The reverse in swing is when the old ball swings in towards the batter.
You could see that right the way it comes off his hand, that what it's going to do.
Is the delivery that shatters stumps and toes.
That's awesome. See, one of the things about those in swings, the way that the cricket ball moves when it comes off the ground is one of the things that impresses me so much about cricket bowlers. I think there's more skill in cricket bowling than there is in baseball pitching. But I think that hitting a round ball with a round bat, just as far as physics goes, is going to be more difficult than hitting a round ball with a flat bat at a slower speed. Athletic application in baseball. Feel free to disagree. I love talking to all of you about this.
These are the strategic positions on the pitch.
Okay, so here's your difference. Okay, so that adds so much more, and this lends to the theory that I just threw out there that bowling in cricket is a much more technical problem than pitching in baseball because of the distances as to where the ball is going to hit the ground. You got that Yorker, which is right literally at the batter's foot, and then you've got the bouncer, which is like, from my perspective here, like just off screen. What happens if you bounce it? What happens if the ball hits the ground and it literally goes over the batter's head? What happens there? Let me know in the comments. So, all right, this is interesting. So we got the bouncer. Wow, that is really close to the bowler. That bouncer distance. Okay, I did not think it was nearly that close. 4 meters full pitched and 2 meters on a Yorker. Okay, interesting. All right. So where are you getting the most spin? I mean, I'm imagining the closer. I'm probably thinking the good length, about 6 meters, you're going to get the most optimal spin where you got enough distance before it hits the ground where you're going to get good velocity and enough distance between the bounce point and the batter where you're going to get good deviation in the direction. The laws of cricket restrict the number of bounces per over. And an over is pretty big because that's the whole team, for player safety and to prevent use of excessive intimidating tactics. See, in baseball, sometimes what a pitcher will do to get back someone off the plate is they'll just throw it at their head. And occasionally they'll hit you with it, which usually is accidental in baseball. It's usually just a wild pitch, which I'm sure happens in bowling. I'm sure there's a wild bowl. Just gets out of hand. But sometimes it's intentional, and you'll just get pitched out of the game. You'll just get thrown out of the game. In which case, in baseball, you'll just get thrown out of the game. But then you got guys like Alex Rodriguez that the entire league knew was juiced up on steroids and refused to take any games suspended, comes back into the game. And what does the first pitcher do that pitches at him? He hits him with the ball because it was more like a fuck you. We're all playing in the rules and you're the one who's doing steroids, so fuck off. As a hockey fan, it's something I can understand.
Mitchell Johnson's aggressive use of the bouncer in the 2013-14 Ashes series was a masterclass.
Did that even bounce? It looked like he threw it right at his head. I got to pull that back.
The standard Yorker is the silver bullet, vertical snap of the wrist, driving the...
I'm assuming the ball has to land at the line that is in front of the batter's front foot in order to be legal. That's deadly.
It's the delivery that makes the batter question their life choices.
So is there any rule as to where the ball has to bounce, or is it just has to bounce? It doesn't matter whether it bounces at the batter's feet, behind his feet, as long as it bounces before the wickets? Tell me in the comments, please.
The ball curves late into the batter's toes. It is an absolute nightmare to defend, as the batter has to account for both the length.
That looked behind his feet.
The outswinging Yorker swings away from the batter, aiming to beat the outside edge and clip the off stump. It requires an even cleaner release than the in-swinging version to maintain the outswing late in the trajectory.
That was a nice little angle.
The grip and release are dictated by the reverse swing mechanics, but the leg expecting a 140 kph rocket plays their shot too early and misses the ball entirely.
It's a breaking
Section
ball.
5.
With the first inning. Song swings and misses.
The back of the hand slower ball is one of the most common.
See, that looked like that didn't even look like it bounced. That looked like it went straight to the wickets. Are my eyes just not fast enough? Am I not used to watching cricket? Because it didn't even look like it bounced there.
The bowler rotates their wrist, so the back of their hand faces the batter at release.
Holy shit. All right, we're going to back that one up. That was incredible. The back of his hand, he was actually throwing it like that. That is so much more intricate than I ever thought bowling could be.
The bowler rotates their wrist, so the back of their hand faces the batter at release.
Look at that. How in the hell do you keep that under control with a locked elbow? And the seam is staying static. That seam is rotating in exactly the same way. And he released that ball like this. That is fucking nuts.
Yeah! That's cricket right there!
It's a simple, effective way to take 30-40 kph off the delivery.
Wow.
The off cutter is a spinning delivery at pace. The bowler rolls their fingers over the ball like an off spinner, clockwise for a right armour. The change in grip and wrist position reduces the pace, and the spin causes the deviation.
Holy crap, that was quite the bounce.
The leg cutter is the opposite. Rolled like a leg spinner, anti-clockwise for a right armour.
See, that's still pretty crazy, because he's releasing like that.
Split finger slower ball. The split finger slower ball is a technique borrowed from baseball.
Come on. I told you guys you'd like baseball. You just got to give it a shot.
Bowler splits their index and middle fingers around the seam. This causes the ball to come out significantly slower and often dip sharply.
Okay, so the knuckleball in baseball is pretty much thrown. It's not actually thrown with your knuckles, although I'm sure some people have. I think it's more with the tips of your fingers, like this. And I'm going to assume that it's going to be similar in cricket. And the ball's just going to come in like this.
The bowler grips the ball with their knuckles, releasing it with minimal spin. It wobbles and dips unpredictably in the air, making it incredibly difficult for the batter
100%.
to time their shot.
Absolutely. That's exactly the same as baseball, the knuckleball. It can confuse a pitcher as much as a batter. I don't think that someone who has played cricket their entire life at a professional level is going to step onto a major league diamond and hit many balls, at least not hit them very far with a baseball bat. But at the same time, I think it's equally unlikely for a professional baseball player to pick up a cricket bat and do anything. In fact, I would actually say that a cricket player would make more solid contact against a pitcher in baseball than a baseball player would make contact with a bowler. Okay, so that was pretty cool. Like I said, I'm still a massive baseball fan. I love it. But I'm also really getting into cricket. That taught me a lot in cricket. Like I said, I still think that pitching in baseball is one of the most difficult positions in pro sports. But after watching that, I think bowling and cricket is a far more nuanced aspect of sport than is pitching in baseball. I still think batting in baseball is more difficult because, I mean, it's just physics. Hitting a round ball with a round bat is going to be more difficult than hitting a round ball with a flat bat. It's just physics. But as much as you can get real amazing alternating paths from a baseball. It doesn't touch cricket. It just doesn't. Bowling and cricket, I think it would be easier for a baseball batter. I don't know if that's true, actually, thinking about it. The games have so much in common. And I know there's a lot of you out there that think that, no, they're totally different. No, they're not. The baseball and cricket have so much in common. But the differences are pretty broad as well. Personally, I love baseball. I'm a huge baseball fan, have been my whole life. But I'm fast becoming a cricket fan. I enjoy watching the game. I enjoy learning about it. And I don't know. I'm not going to bother making a baseball video to try and convince you guys to like it, because it's not going to get any views. But I'm telling you, if you're open-minded like I am, and as a baseball fan, I used to think, cricket, what are you kidding me? Like, come on. The more I've watched it, the more I've really gotten to like it. And I've learned to really enjoy both sports. And I think that if you're a real big cricket fan, if you took in, a World Series final game, you'd probably enjoy it as well if you open your mind up and give it a shot. But anyways, that's just me. I love baseball, but I'm also really learning to love cricket. I guess at some point I'll have to do a video on spin bowlers, because that was on fast bowling, which was wild in and of itself. If there's anything you'd like me to check out or react to, please let me know. If you'd like to help out the channel, help a Canadian like me get to Australia and record some of these videos in person, that'd be amazing. Just hit like and subscribe. It goes so far. I know that so many people that aren't subscribed watch my videos. Hit the subscribe button. It goes a long way to helping me get to Australia. If you're feeling really generous, you can buy me a coffee in the link below, or jump on over, check out my Patreon. But if you're just watching this video at this point in the video, you are my favorite person in the world right now. Big shout out to my friend Dave in Brisbane, who just sent me a care package from Australia. I'll do a video on that. I think I got some more Vegemite coming. Big shout out to my buddy Michael on the cattle station, Darren in Bathurst, Skull and Crossbones, Dick, Tiger Racing, DG Raceway. All you guys know who you are. Your family. I love you all. May you all find water and shade. And I'll see you on the next one.